Hello, Body Slams podcast fans, and you're tuning in to Thursday Night Slam. I am one of your analysts, Chio Frost, and sitting next to me is another compadre of mine.
The other analyst.
Analyst, he likes to be called.
Analyst.
Yeah, you got some lube for that analyst?
Nah.
Nah, not at all.
Nah.
Mr. T. Reyes.
What up? What up? What up?
Also in the house tonight, we have the man behind Reap the Future, none other than Dennis Reaper.
What's up?
Hooty hoo.
Hooty hoo.
And last but not least, at the moment, we have, as always, we call him the better Bernard because he is, the Saint Bernard because he looks like one. Mikey!
Hey, what's up,
you big, lovable, huggable guy? How you doing?
Dennis is like, are you sure? I don't know about that.
Is there something you're not telling us there, Chio?
Yes, we cuddle all the time. You know, tell him, Mike.
I had a feeling.
Mikey, tell him.
Oh.
And
hey, he likes the big Italians. So
yeah, exactly. As you may notice, our not our fifth compadre, the fifth musketeer, fifth horseman, whatever you want to call him, Austin, is not here at the moment. He's en route, let's just say. Okay, he was supposed to be here at the top.
Actually, he said he just got in.
Oh, he just got in?
Yeah, he did just.
Yeah.
All right, well, technically, he's still en route because he's not on the screen yet. But as soon as he does, we will get him in the room. So, Austin, if you're listening, please take your time. Don't rush. We got this. We had a guest.
Wipe before you get in here.
Yes. we had a guest lined up for you this evening. Her name was Brittany, but she had to unfortunately reschedule due to obligations. You know, and for those obligations, we totally understand. We go through the same thing. So we will get her rescheduled. Dennis will be working on that. Also, Dennis has been steadily working on getting us guests for November and maybe possibly December, because now we're going to be switching.
Look, I'm going to say it this way. This Saturday, I'm going to be in Baltimore, right? And I'm going to go through this lineup of people that are at this event, and I'm going to try to at least pull 5 or 6 of them on this show, okay? Let me pull this event up. It's called, I believe it's the Baltimore Crab Fest, okay? That's what I believe it is. I know for a fact they have Will Ospreay on the show, okay? Because New Japan Pro Wrestling is in Philadelphia this upcoming weekend at the 2300 Arena. And no, we were not paid for that. By the way, Chio, your camera is all fuzzy and blurry.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Man.
But I'd let you know now.
Yeah, I see it on this screen. I don't see it on the other screen. Know what? You keep making those announcements. I'm gonna step out the room.
Not a problem.
And I'll bring myself back in a second.
Yep, I'm pulling up the cards. So like I'm excited for Saturday, okay? Because I'm gonna be down there, right? So they got Will Ospreay, they have Doc Gallows, they have Kalisto, they have Larry Zbyszko, the Steiner brothers, Paul Earring, the Briscoe brothers. They have the formerly known as the Iconics, but now I believe they're going on Impact as
I didn't read their name.
I forget the name right away. I really do, and I feel horrible, but I can't wait to meet them. We have Nick fucking Gage on the show, and I don't care if I get flagged for the F word, but
how's our screen?
How's our screen?
Yeah,
good?
It's better than
it's better than before.
But
I think it might be the internet, but we're good.
It could be the internet.
And the name you were looking for is Inspiration.
Thank you. Here's the thing. If there's anything that we don't know names-wise, the man next to Chio literally is the encyclopedia of names, okay? I'm going to call you the encyclopedia guy.
Nah, don't do that, because if I mess up, that's my ass.
Well, that's the funny part.
Well, even encyclopedias mess up, too.
But look, here's the other people. We got Mickey James. We got Rockin' Robin. We have ABL. Carlito, Val Venus, Mr. Huge, Bob Orton, Gangrel, Scott Norton. We got Eric Rowan, aka formerly known as Eric Rowan, also known as Eric Redbeard, JJ Dillon, Jackie Haas. We have Alondra Blaze. We have Jordan Grace. We have Emma. They got Steve G.
Wow.
Monard. We got Sergeant Slaughter, The Godfather. Brandy Lauren. She is formerly known as Skylar Story from NXT, but she was in one of those cuts that got let go. We got Chelsea Green, Kurt freaking Angle, Wendy Richards, Deanna Palazzo. We got the Beefcake. We got Tugboat. They have Enzo and Kaz, like Gilbert, Sonny.
And you can't teach that.
Like, I don't know why they got Sonny, because all she's going to want to probably do is, sell some sexy, just nasty. And Dave, I wish it was their lens, but it's not. The internet is acting up all over PA right now, to be honest with you. It's unfortunate. But no, I am going to try my hardest to grab some of these for the podcast. Whether it's
That's a long list to try to grab from, though, buddy.
Listen, it does not matter. I will do the work. Okay. I would have said Cody Vance, but I'm going to have to back away from that because I wanted to bring Cody Vance in for the thing called Icons of Wrestling in Philly in December. But he wanted he wants $1,500 for that. And then on top of it, the next day is another event. He wanted another $1,500 for that. So he wanted $3,000 for 2 days. Unfortunately, for $3,000, I gotta make money somehow, right? That's how this business works. I gotta make some money somehow. I can't blow it all away. But my job is to get people in the show, and that's a day. I have all day Saturday to pull in some of the biggest names that professional in wrestling has ever done. And I can say this: Kurt Angle loves podcasts. He loves talking wrestling. If I can get him on the show,
I'll probably mark out.
Yeah, I was gonna say you might be able to get him on then if he really loves doing that.
I won't lie. I probably will cry.
I probably will mark out because I'm a big Angle fan, and like I'll probably
I
5-year-old.
think we're all gonna mark out. I mean, how many of us are gonna say it's true? It's true. It's damn true.
But
Well,
but that's that.
Well, all right, gentlemen. At the top of the show, we usually do our announcements. Austin was ready, supposed to be setting off to do our to spill all the beans about our Dead Row Sports team. So here I go instead. On Mondays, you have the Sullivan Squad at 6 p.m. Tuesday, the Old School Show at 6:30 p.m. Wednesday, the Combat Misfits at 6 p.m. Thursday, starting November 4th, we will be bi-weekly in November 4th. So, so every other Thursday. But for now, for the rest of this month, you can catch us every Thursday night at 9:05 p.m. The Scrapple Boys are currently on hiatus, which they usually be on Saturdays at 9 a.m. And on Sunday, the Gobbler Inc. at 9 a.m. Combat Misfits once again at 10 a.m. And Breakfast and Body Slams will be starting at 11 a.m. November 7th. This is only a trial period, probably for these 2 months after for 2022, and we're gonna see how our Sundays go. If they don't go the way we think it might go, we'll probably switch back to Saturdays. So I'm just putting that out there. So this is a test run for these next 2 months for November, December, and if it doesn't go accordingly, we will switch back to Saturdays. So. And don't forget about our pop-up pipe bombs, which can happen anytime, anywhere, with anyone. So we could be here in the studio and someone else can be on the road, on location, in the field, such as you got to see plenty of times with Dennis Reaper. And let's not forget about our podcast affiliates.
Backstabbers. We have Tornado Podcast with Anthony Blackwell and Andy Header. We had 2300 Podcast, Wrestling Podcast, with Dave Keener, Dave E. Richards. We have Conversaciones with de Lucha Libre with Daniel Mercado and Emmanuel Berrios.
If these people didn't get that in the beginning, he said Backstabbers. Backstabbers is a wrestling podcast. They are our newest affiliate. We will get him trained in plugging you. It'll come eventually, and we will make sure we eventually get Mikey to start doing announcements as well, especially the Conversación de Lucha Libre.
De Lucha Libre.
So since we had a scramble to find a new guest for the show, Dennis and I was putting our heads together, and I'll let Dennis kick this off with the guest for the evening, and we're gonna have Mikey kick it off with questions then.
Look, I tried my hardest to find a replacement, right? I mean, I looked at people at OVW, AEW, ROH. I hit up everybody, right? But unfortunately, I had to go to the bottom of the barrel. I had to ask the least most important, least favorite person in the entire world of Pennsylvania to come on the show.
Sorry, T.
So, without further ado, owner of Pagoda Pro Wrestling, owner of some DJ company, ladies and gentlemen. No, T, it's not you. Thankfully, it's not you. People would turn the TV off just as quick.
Thank you.
But we are going with Mr. Chio effing Frost.
Thank you for inviting me on the show. It's a great group of guys you got here. This guy here, just like for Dylan Mesh, he didn't get me the green M&Ms either. So, but he got me. But
you don't deserve sheets. Green M&Ms.
But he got me sheets. Cheap plug.
No. Look. Chio didn't get the green M&Ms, but he just got roasted in about 30 seconds.
Did he, or did I get roasted and buried him underneath?
I don't know, but if I gotta say anything, I just
that's true because you did say people would turn the TV off just as fast.
I just pulled out a Kiri and Dane autograph card out of a pack, so I'm kind of happy with that one. I'm just saying.
All right, but
no, all realistically, Chio, it's awesome to have you as a guest. You guys surprised me the last time. We decided to would not wait and just kind of tell people that's what it was going on. But I'm gonna hand it on down to Mikey here.
Well, just before takes over, before you take over, Mikey, just to let everyone know, the comment and question board is open. So if you have questions or comments, please send them in. We'll try to get them up on the screen. We'll try to answer them. And with everybody here, T, Dennis, Mikey, and if Austin gets in, they all have free range to ask me questions from top to bottom. I'll try not to sugarcoat anything if I don't have to. If we can get some skeletons out of the closet, maybe I'll get some out, or some might have to just stay there. So yeah, Mikey, this is your debut doing the interviewing. So
bye guys.
Okay, Chio. So
backstage.
So Chio, take us back in time as we do with everybody. How did you get? What turned you on to wrestling, and what caught your interest there, buddy?
Well, that was quite easy. I'm gonna have to go back to my grandfather and my uncle. Now, my uncle used to tell me stories as like between both of these gentlemen, my love of wrestling had to go way beyond before I was like 5 years old or whatever, but before I was even in school. My uncle used to tell me stories. He used to take me to the Spectrum, and he'd be bouncing me off his knee while we're there, and he'd say, "You're there cheering Putski." So, and it kind of works out because when I actually can remember wrestling as it is, I actually really did like Ivan Putski back then, and then I get bits and pieces, because remember I was still young and little. I get bits and pieces of my grandfather taking me out
Right.
to the Hamburg Field House. So this is going on like way before 40 years ago. So I'm 45 now. So before
Right.
40 years ago, I was in Hamburg Field House, sitting there watching WWWF. So,
Right. Right.
and I can remember the venue. I remember some of the old school stuff, and then years later, seeing it on TV, it was like a flashback of memory. So I give utmost credit to both of them right there. My pop, he wasn't my biological grandpop, but in our family, uh uh when men or whoever or step up to help take care of kids that ain't theirs, we become instantly their fathers or their pop. So yeah, he was my pop. And just like now,
Right.
I got my grandkids who are not biologically mine, but I'm their pop, and that's end of story at that. You
Yep.
know,
All
and
right.
then
Nice.
my uncle, I gotta give much love and praise to him right now. He's watching down. He's a huge Eagles fan, and they're playing tonight. We got it on the big screen sitting next to me that we can just glance over and take a look. But yeah, that's the two main guys that I have to give so much credit to of me enjoying wrestling. And after that, it just snowballed, just like anybody else. You know, you're growing up
Right.
watching it as a kid, Saturday morning wrestling and stuff like that.
Awesome.
Just jump in.
So,
You ain't got to raise your hand.
Mikey, hold on real quick. I got to touch on something. First off, Chio, you are a great grandfather. I will say that. You always bring your grandkids to every sporting event that I'm usually at, like Reading Phillies games, wrestling shows. So hats off to you for that. You're also not only just that, you're also a great father because your kids are awesome. What's it like having your daughter a part of the wrestling business around ringside taking photos instead of being like following your footsteps of being a manager or anything like that? What's that feeling knowing that your daughter is just as important role as you are into the wrestling business right now?
It's a really proud honor because like within this past year or so, well, after COVID and stuff like that, uh her work started to expand. And now, for being only 17 years old and still a senior in high school, her portfolio has grown. There's so many companies out there are trying to book her, but they really can't because she has to travel with me at the same time. So, but the companies that I work for, they're great, because she's, as of right now, you can watch a lot of her work and my work both on IWTV. On some of the shows, that I can name off the top of my head. Let's say
Outbreak.
Violence and Suffering, Pro Wrestling Magic, Invictus Pro. What was the other one? Star Pro, and there were several others. But yeah, when you see certain ones, okay, that's my sound equipment. That's that's working the audio to provide great sound and mics for the talent. But when you're watching it at ringside, you can see her around ringside getting those shots, and like I said, ever since we came back from COVID, business has just been picking up for her.
that's awesome.
Recognition from talent
Right.
has picked up from her, not just from wrestling talent, but also from Chris Van Vliet himself.
Yep.
He been posting pictures up and tagging her, and like I tell her about all these people giving her much love and shout out, and it's like, oh yes, and Super Crazy as well.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, DB. Appreciate that. And you know, and for her, it's like nothing. It's like, she shrugs her shoulders, because she's been around around the business since she was 7 years old, and she didn't start taking pictures till she was like maybe 12, 13, and she was working under the tutelage of none other than Eric Pinhat.
Yep.
So Eric taught her a lot. She got a lot of advice from other for photographers out there like Frankie Kurtz, Eric Schaefer, and there's some other like Johnny Gee, who else I could think of? Oh man, off the top of my head. But yeah, it like right now I feel like, she's not my daughter, I'm her dad. It's like, people are gonna recognize her before they recognize me because I'm at the end of the road right now and she's still fresh.
Right.
Okay. Fair enough. I got it. Like I said, I got to give you credit where credit's due, but I also got to give credit where credit's due. Your daughter does take phenomenal photos. But again, it doesn't, the respect and how she treats business doesn't fall far from the tree. It's because she's been around so long with you, and you've taught her well how to be respectful and how to treat people, and she loves what she does. It shows in her work. So I'm not trying to tug at your heart or anything. I'm just being honest with you, man.
I feel a little choked up, but okay.
Like, but it's the truth. It's the truth, though. Like, everybody respects you and respects her. So again, that's why I wanted to ask you that question. That's the only question I had all day for you. So
don't tell her that she's gonna get a big head.
She's probably watching this going, hell yeah, Dad, see? They like me more.
Nah, she's probably watching some YouTube and doing her nails. But yeah. All right, Mikey, you were going to ask me another question.
So now going a little further, where when did you actually start like getting involved with like wrestling itself, like training and all that stuff?
All right, so here comes the somewhat skeletons or whatever. Well, it's some like names I not want to mention. I'm gonna have to mention anyway. So, I moved back from Philadelphia, and I'm living on the south side of Reading, and there's a playground 10th and South, and I'm on the block just chilling, hanging out, and walking up the hill. This really string bean, skinny, lanky guy. With a bunch of the kids, and one of the little kids on the block, I'm like, what y'all doing? He goes, we're going up and to wrestle. I'm like, wrestle? I'm like, oh, cool. I'm like, hey, I love wrestling. So I come up to check it out. Lo and behold, the guy I'm referring to was up there who was choreographing all this was like 16, 17-year-old Ray Torres. So I met him. We start wrestling around in the parks and this and that. It was backyard wrestling basically, but in the parks.
Right.
Me not knowing, I didn't know he was attending Dio's Dungeon in Reading. I didn't know there was a wrestling school to begin with. I didn't know there was places you can go and train. All I knew is, hey, we're a bunch of kids wrestling at the playground, this and that. Sooner or later, he starts letting the cat out of the bag. Oh yeah, this. I'm like, all right, cool, interesting. End up going to they had a show at the PAL. Like, all right, so ended up helping them afterwards take the ring back into the school. And that was my first experience of finding out what indie wrestling is. Because like I said, I didn't only thing I knew was what I saw on TV, and any playground backyard wrestling that I did before that, it wasn't
right.
We didn't fake hit or script. When we were doing it in Philly, we were actually beating the piss out of each other. Seriously doing it. Me and my friends really beat each other's ass. And then but then they ended up moving the dungeon from one location to another. I'm still hanging out with Torres. Me and him were like thick as thieves. We hanged out all the time. Um, I don't want to get into a lot of stuff that we did get in trouble doing.
Right.
So, like I said, that's some of the skeletons I'm gonna leave
Right.
in the
In-
closet. Yeah. Some stuff I should not have listened to him, which a
No.
lot of stuff is. Uh,
Yeah. That's a
but
douche.
but around the school, it was more like I was a gopher.
I
Clean up,
go do
watch
this,
the.
go do that.
Well, yeah, and I got in the ring a couple times, to check it out. The first time I actually got a real good bite of it is when they did a ring rental out in Hamburg. Speaking of Hamburg again, and the only ones left there was Jimmy Be Good and Johnny Rock. And they ended up driving me back to Reading. But while we were there, they let me bounce around in the ring with them. So Johnny Rock and Jim Good were the first two guys who actually got their hands on me in the ring to do anything, just to bounce around in horseplay. But at the same time, I still was not a student of the school at all.
Right.
It wasn't until the owners split. Uh, they had a falling out. They went their own ways. And Jeff Gripley, he ended up opening up uh Body Slams Pro Wrestling Training Center with the godfather of pro wrestling / extreme, Damian Kane. So I started doing the same stuff over there, go for help clean up, do this, do that, ring crew, uh, and then I started training. And so when someone goes, I had to say, when Ray Torres goes out there and tells people, I put him into business, I trained him. If it wasn't for me, he'd be a nobody, this and that. Okay, you were 17 years old, 16, 17 years old when I met you. You didn't have a first match yet. You wasn't even of legal age. You didn't have your own training school and this and that. So no, we were back. We were kids backyard wrestling, and you just happened to be a guy who was out of school training. Like I said, I really didn't get my training in until I went to Body Slams, and he was there too. I trained with him there. So for him to go and say he trained me, I can go and say I helped train him, because there was a lot of stuff that he didn't know what to do, and where I helped him work on stuff. So it could be vice versa, I can
Right.
say the same thing. I helped him. But were you shooting? Yeah. Yeah.
Doing the old
But
Cactus Jack over there.
if he wants me to give him credit for any kind of training, okay, I'll give him credit for he showed me how to be a backstabber, how to talk trash on people, how to rip people's posters down, how to be conniving, all the negative stuff that has to be done with the business.
Right.
Yeah, I seen that. I learned that through him, but it's not me. One of the guys he actually like tearing down posters and stuff was a guy named Blaine DeSantis with Pennsylvania Championship Wrestling. And I manned up. I went to Blaine. I talked to him. I said, yeah, I did that. I said I was with him. I was with him, and I apologized. I said I'm sorry. I told him it wasn't me. It wasn't the type of person who I want to be or this and that. And he was totally understandable. Right. He got my respect. I gained his respect for me coming forth and telling him this stuff like that. So but then throughout the years, it was between me and him, it was a love-hate relationship. We're not friends at first, then we're friends again, and then he's gonna go out and tell the same story as the comment, like Dave, Chio, whatever he wants to call me. Hey, he's a piece of shit. He's no good. He's gonna use what you can from you, and he's gonna throw you away and this and that. And and yeah, it's just like, okay, you can go and say all this stuff about me, especially when you're spreading it to people who don't know me, who
Right.
you associate yourself with. Am I shooting here?
Look, you're listen,
little
you're
bit.
shooting,
I'm just
but
being
I,
honest though. I'm
but
not
I,
trying to shoot. I'm
it's
just being
it's
honest.
it's not really a
Right.
shoot when you're speaking truth. Okay,
Yeah.
I want to say the same goddamn shit about the guy because I think Ray Torres is the biggest piece of shit that ever stepped in the goddamn wrestling business, and that if he got hit by a Mack truck, I would probably fucking laugh.
And and uh and the funny thing about it is for the last 3 years at my job, I mentioned it, like I literally see him for the last 3 years walk past my job, and I'm like literally right in front of him, and not once for these 3 years has he even noticed me being there. That's
But
how blind he is.
I thought he lived in Florida.
Wow.
No, he's in the running area.
He
But
couldn't. He
but
couldn't afford Florida.
enough about him though. It was like I said, that's like I said, I didn't want to open that door, and
The
I
door
still,
opened. The door opened.
and like I still don't, I literally still don't. I want to tuck it back in now,
Here's
just-
more controversy. Who's your greatest tag team partner?
Ooh.
Oh man, talking about put them on the spot.
T, hold on. Look at the TV. Look at the screen. High five. High five. Thank you.
The hell with both of you. I know T wants me to say him.
I know it ain't me. We had like
Okay, I'm gonna have to go. Okay, number one. I had several tag partners. Number one has to be JoJo, of course, with Dark Carnival. We had a good 5-year run. After him, I would have to say a lot of people might hate me on this, but it's okay. I don't care. It was Mike Marvel. Me and him worked great together. We traveled together, and we were and me and him together, we did good business. So I can't, what other people have against him or anyone else, like I said, as long as I do good business and it's being in return to the same way. And one that was an on and off again.
it ain't me.
I would say Vince Bono.
Ooh, I haven't heard that name in a while.
Yeah, he is legitimately my cousin.
I know.
So people who don't so you could technically say I'm part of a wrestling family because like I said, me, my daughter, hopefully my grandkids will get involved.
Right.
Bono, his son wrestled for a short time and then stopped. As well as Izzy McCoy. For people who don't know that out there, yes, she is my niece. So yeah, and I also forgot to mention I also have a cousin who wrestled in Puerto Rico as well, but he's retired a long time ago. So yeah, I actually like I never thought I would come to light and say, hey, I'm a part of wrestling family, but technically when you think about it, they're all family and they all wrestle.
Right, yeah, you are.
And pretty much I'm the head of the table because I'm the one who's still going good. Even though when I'm not in the ring,
acknowledge him.
I'm still doing stuff within the business, whether it's not in the ring, whether it's managing, now working behind the scenes, doing other stuff as well. I'm still doing my thing, 27 years. So yeah, so yeah, when I started training, it was great. I'm sorry, I got off track. Yeah, when I was training at Body Slams, it was a great experience. A lot of great guys came out of that place. Guys like Flex Wheeler, the Bad Crew. I think they trained somewhere else though before they got there. But it's talent that I got to meet there. George Anthony. Oh man, the list goes on and on. But yeah, I had my first match September 24th, 1994. I was 18 years old.
And what was going through your head at that moment, like your debut match? Like you're getting ready to show off your stuff. Like what was going through your mind? What was the mindset at that time?
I was excited because I had plenty of time even before training, just to get used to like bumping around and while I was around everyone, I got to study the business before I actually started training too at the same time. So I, I was nervous and excited at the same time. And like I don't know if I can say I had to go to the bathroom before I went out because that seems to be the common thing, uh,
Right.
which which I think happened later on that those jitters start to come. But oh, I see Austin's coming in. I'm gonna bring Austin in the room too while we're here doing this. So yeah, so I was really excited. My dad was at my very first match. They had me work under a hood. I didn't had no boots at the time. I was barefoot. I had a singlet on, a hoodie on, and I'm thinking, what the hell they gonna call me? And Damien, okay, your name's Mark Starr. I'm like, Mark Starr, but I'm wearing a hood. Okay, whatever. I come to find out, Mark Starr was basically just a common gimmick name that you can just basically throw on anybody for the first time or whoever. Just like I have on my files in my music files,
Oh, I got you.
I got one song called the Jobber theme, which is Guns N' Roses, Welcome to the Jungle. So whoever shows up and they're just jobbing, I'm playing that one for them. Because if you notice in ECW, a lot of times guys use that song.
Which is true.
Ah,
So that's why
I didn't. I did not know that.
Yeah, so
Go
that's why it's
watch
labeled a
E-
jobber.
Welcome
Mikey,
to the
watch
judge. That was Bam
ECW.
Bam's song.
Watch ECW stuff back in the day.
Yeah,
A lot of
stuff
guys came
before
out to
Bam
that.
Bam, though.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I was about to say that was Bam Bam's song, if I remember correct.
Yeah, so yeah, back in '94, that was my debut.
I got a question here for you. I don't know if anyone asked. I was doing a bunch of running around and just finally got
Sure.
one. What was your favorite gimmick that you got to do throughout your career?
Oh Lord, we here forever now.
Yeah.
I did honestly, I did many transitions of myself. When I started, I had a Flyboy Rocco Rock look. I had a look where I was a demented insane guy where I spoke to myself. I was part of like a
delirious style,
well,
but like
but I talk
Sabu-ish.
well, I talked to myself where I would try to cheat and snitch on myself at the same time. The voices in my head. So
Ah,
the videos are online. The debut video is out
Right.
there. I can actually probably pull it up and put it on the screen, but
the reason why I asked is that actually
Please don't. Please don't.
over the course of the past few days, like, I was just sitting around on YouTube because I didn't really have much to do, and I was like, "Oh, this guy Chio told me he had a bunch of matches up on his YouTube channel." So I went over there and I was watching a few of your old matches, dude.
yeah, I did a Dark Carnival character where I painted my face, which I was in a tag team with. Wreaking Havoc with T-Ray is. I was like a Puerto Rican gimmick. Yeah,
Just
so
the name is so good.
yeah, it was just a bunch of different transitions through myself. But the one that my favorite, which I put out on air before was, and I put it out there because I don't care right now because I'm not wrestling, is my Sheik character where I wrestled under the mask, which I still had the outfit, I still had the mask. Who knows? He might make a return in a battle royal somewhere. You never know. But yeah, I like
Right.
doing. I like
AEW's next Joker.
I like doing the foreigner heel gimmick that nobody likes. I make up my own language, and and you get those USA chants, whatever. And I actually like that because it was different, and that's my favorite right there. My Sheik. If you go online, you'll find him. Kalim Razali. You know. So yeah, you can look him up on
I was
my
gonna say it's got to
YouTubes.
be a lot more fun to play heel. Like,
No,
that.
I actually like babyface more because you
Oh, really?
because you have to work and earn the people to cheer for you. being a heel is easy. You can go out there and say, "Hey, shut up, you suck, you're fat, whatever, this and that." You
Right.
get the people hating you. It's harder to be a baby face because then you have to work and earn it, and that's what I liked. And then besides doing the Sheik character, for me myself, I like doing the plain, simple, regular Chio character, which I did in DTW, Damn That's Wrestling, as well as I did when I teamed with Mike Marvel. It was just a basic Chio Frost character where I just tights, boots, just there was no special gimmick whatsoever. It was a plain average Joe character, and the fans got behind it because it was one of them. Me as being one of them, one of the people. So it wasn't nothing special. So
But those kind of characters work really well. I mean, going back to Stone Cold, a lot of people could relate at that time because they were the middle class, hardworking people, and at the
yeah,
time
but
it was like you want to, so you being relatable to the people, yeah, they're gonna take to that.
when you look at it, Stone Cold, his thing was he he's a bad MFer. The
Right,
whole thing against the system. What everyone wanted to do was beat the hell out of the boss and this and that. So right there,
right,
there's the gimmick, there's the character, there's that. I'm talking about just a regular Joe Blow from Idaho, no real gimmick, no real. You're just going out there. Hey, all right, people, get behind me. Let's do it. Come on, yeah. They could sit on their hand and be like, "What the hell is this? Like who the fuck's this guy? The other guy, my opponent can have he got fancy outfit and awesome entrance and high flying moves and this and that. No, I was just like your average Joe, but I got over.
Yeah.
What was your favorite time as like a manager? Like like what was your favorite tag team to manage?
Oh my god. I can't say a tag team per se. I can say I manage a bunch of guys, a
Right,
group of guys, especially my best time managing was up in Grand Slam Wrestling, GSW. Uh, and I managed guys like Sean Silence, Andy Header. Um, we had a group called the Purge. Guy Mark Hart, a tag team known as Hollywood's Finest. I managed the Impeccables, the Takeover from out of New York. So yeah, I give much love, much praise goes out to Grand Slam Wrestling because once I got hurt there from wrestling, I pretty much almost like practically crush. I don't want to say I don't want to say crush my spine, but the impact I took, it messed my back up. So instead of kicking me to the curb, they knew what potential I had because with my mic skills, with the gift of gab, and instead of like I said, instead of throwing me to the curb, they put my ass to work, and we worked. Trust me. And even as even though my back was messed up, even as a manager, I still bumped, but I did those managerial type bumps though. You
right,
know,
right.
so it
The
like
lighter stuff.
yeah. So like I was like the classic heel. I was in a suit. I was out there in a suit. I kept it professional. I was doing a la Paul Heyman, Gary Hart, just like JJ Dillon, all the business guys that are in suits, and you're going out there working for your guys, So I wasn't being
Right.
a gimmick. I was just the guy out there. It's all business. That's what I was doing. And fortunate enough for me, I got to work with JJ Dillon, where he was managing one team out in New Jersey, and he turned on the other team and went with us. So yeah, and the video's out there too. It's actually it's pretty cool.
Who's your greatest rival?
T-Ray, no.
Ah!
my, oh my, Oh my God, my greatest.
You know, he's also known as Pepsi Pat, by the way, guys. I don't know if you know that.
my greatest rival. When you speak of rivals, it has to be someone you have to work over and over
I
again.
won't say Vince Bono.
In many companies. My greatest rival would have to be my most hated rival, and that would have to be Ray Torres. I'm sorry.
Shit.
Only because we worked everywhere for every company we went to. We were paired up. If I wasn't wrestling as me at the time, as Kid Extreme, what they called me, or if I wasn't working as the Sheik under the mask, he was either working as his bodacious pretty boy character, or he was working as, I'm sorry, am I going to say this? Ranger 7 under the mask. So, but yeah.
Even worse.
So, yeah. It was always me and him. We got to know each other in ring where we didn't have to call nothing. We just went out there and did it.
Right, you knew what you were doing.
Yeah. As far as tag team goes, my greatest rivals have to be. It's out of two teams. It's either Self-Employed, JD Smooth and the Funky White Boy, or the Nigerian Nightmares.
Oh, man.
we went to battle with JD and Funky. It was more somewhat comical, haha. We can do a lot more with them, but with the Nightmares, it was straight beat the piss out of each other type thing. Same thing with another team we worked a lot was the Gemini Trojans, the twins. Oh my God, those guys are like two big muscle heads, and we just pound the shit out of each other. For like those two teams between the Nightmares and the Trojans, a lot of people did not like working them, but me and JoJo, we loved it. We loved it. It was great.
I mean, I'll put it to you like this: you're throwing out a lot of fun names that if they hadn't been used already, people would be writing these down so fast.
Listen, no one could ever pull off the Nigerian Nightmares like they were. God rest in peace. Aaron was probably one of the nicest, most gentle, scariest mother effers you'd ever meet in the locker room. The dude was like full 350, 400. And he would walk. And when I say this man could jump, he would he would flip over the top rope.
Yeah, he'll flip and drop a leg drop on you.
And drop a leg drop on you. And when he would do it, you would pray to fucking God you didn't piss him off in the locker room.
And the thing was, Aaron, he did that for so long, even before he was a Nigerian Nightmare, when he was still Mr. Hood in Himalaya Players back with Liberty All-Star when they were being run down in Philly at the Murphy Rec Center by Bay Ragney. Even before that, I think before the Murphy Rec. Yeah, but yeah, he was very agile for a big guy.
Like I loved Aaron. Like
him and Chuck.
If there was guys in the locker room, and this is before I met Chio, and there, I have a list of guys that I love sharing the locker room with, and it was because of the fact that you could go up to them and say, "Hey, this is what me and my guy were thinking in our match. What do you think of this as the ending? Do you think we should change something, or should we just stick with it because it makes sense?" And these are the guys that would be like, "Look, we were listening. I think you need to change that. Go a different way to get into that." Because like everybody knows, wrestling is a choreographed sport. Okay, we're not going to sugarcoat. Right. I'm not going to lie to it. We're stuntmen. Okay, that's what we are. We are stuntmen. Yeah. We get paid to be stuntmen. But but with stories in the concept of we're not in a movie, this is right in front of your face, and we need to make it look right. We have to make it make sense in your brain, okay? And it's Aaron was like that guy
on Broadway.
Yes, 100%. But Aaron and Chio and all them are those guys to where again, this isn't me trying to, kiss ass or anything. This is me showing respect to the guys that helped me when I was on shows, that they were all about helping the younger guys be better in the ring. Yes, there were sometimes Chio would say, hey, I would do this, and I'd tell Chio to go pound sand because I just didn't give a shit. I'm going to do it anyway.
And the thing that's funny though is like when he said about me coming up to him explaining like and I go and I tell a lot of these guys that look, whatever I'm explaining to him, I say, look, you can tell you can take my advice for what it is. I'm like I said, I'm just giving you advice. Or you can tell me blow it out your asshole, and I literally say to him, you can tell me go blow it out of your asshole, man. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. I'm gonna do what I'm doing, and they're like, no. They say like, no, thank you, we appreciate it, and I say, hey, look, this is your match, you do what you want to do, and the at the end of the day, it's your decision, though.
Yeah.
So,
and that was the thing that set Chio and a lot of these vets back, like that made them locker room leaders for a reason, is they gave you the advice that you needed to hear. Like when I came to that locker room, there was plenty of times that Chio and these guys knew that I thought my match was the drizzling effing shits. And I would go to them, and before I could even say something out my mouth, they go, why would you do that? David says, Dennis, stop breaking the third wall. Dude, the third wall was broken with that masked wrestler showing everybody back in the day of how wrestling was done. And then there was that movie that came out. We're not going to discuss it, but Ray Alexander was a big part of that movie that showed you wrestling. But
and then on top of that, you got the movie. I mean, the TV show that's on now, Hills. They're doing the exact same thing.
I've heard
the difference is, there's some wrestling people that hate the show because they say it don't make sense, and they go, there's no one in that show that knows wrestling. Well, I know about half the workers on the show. They know wrestling, but it's not. The show isn't meant for professional wrestling. It's a TV effing show. It's like Arrow or
right.
Game of Thrones. Like, for the love of God, yeah. You she was gonna die at the end of the goddamn series.
By the way, good call out on mentioning Arrow, because Stephen Amell has been in a handful of like live wrestling matches. Like he has the training, he knows how everything's supposed to go, which is one of the reasons why they casted him. Aside from the fact that he had the look that they wanted.
Well, he's the one that is in charge of the show. That's what people don't understand. Yeah. He's in charge of the goddamn show. But it's a good show for what it is. But back to Mikey. Yeah. Keep asking questions.
Okay, Chio. So tell us about when you started to learn how to do like commentating. Your first experience with that.
Man, I started rocking commentating. Let me see. For IWA. I got hurt, and I still want to be a part of the show. So like, when sometimes, when you're doing promos and stuff, the commentating starts coming naturally. And I said, hey, I want to jump on commentary. And I did that with Carolina Jim. Me and Jim started out. I started out with him because he was doing it way before I was. And T was there. He was there at the time. We did. I think I did one at Riverside, but the rest we did at the skating rink place out in Birdsboro. We did. So, but yeah, I started there with IWA. Then when I was in DTW, we were doing all our own video stuff, and we did. I did the Joey Style version where we're in the basement of JoJo's house putting the video together, and he's pointing at me, telling me what to say, and I'm doing commentary for the whole event. Even when I'm working the show, I'm still doing commentary, but I'm just changing my voice a little bit, And then I did commentary for other companies as well. AXW, I did a little bit of commentary for them too as well when they were around. Pagoda Pro. Me and Dennis did for Super Crazy.
In that same basement.
Yeah, yeah, in this basement. Uh, yeah. So I did commentary for a bunch of promotions, but not as far as being a regular mainstay guy though. I wasn't like I wasn't like the main guy. I was like filling
Oh,
in here
okay.
or there or helping out, whichever however I can help out. I was doing.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, like for wrestling, I don't know where I would be at because after I trained and had a couple matches, at the age of, I ended up moving back to Philly for a short while. I ended up getting in trouble. So like yeah, I was selling out there selling crack cocaine. Yikes. So I was young, dumb, and I didn't cry about it when I got arrested. I did not cry. I knew I was wrong. I was my pop told me, hey, uh, if you ever get caught up in something, don't come crying to me for a lawyer or anything. You man up, you take the hit, and that's what I did. I manned up. They gave me 9 to 23 months, so I was at the House of Corrections on State Road. Uh, and
CFCF.
next to CFCF,
Oh,
the
okay,
House
yeah,
of
yeah, yeah. I know.
Correction, the creek.
I'm literally, Tio, no bullshit. I'm literally right around the corner from that right now. Like I could literally step out my door and look straight at Holmesburg Prison from here.
Yeah, we were
Wow.
across the street from Holmesburg, by the river. We were by the
Yeah.
river. Uh,
Yep.
uh,
Down
One thing I
by
can tell
the
you about
river.
CFCF is when they first opened it, somebody ended up walking right out the front door. I don't know how the hell they did that.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
Wow.
and
Jeez.
and I'm going back in this when I was there. It was around the blizzard of '96.
That's funny. I'm not gonna lie.
wow.
Take
Hey,
a
well,
lot.
I'm out of here. Walked
Yeah,
Of,
so
out.
that takes a lot of balls to do that.
Yeah, it does.
Just walk out wearing the prison jumper like you're just a normal dude.
no, I don't know what the hell happened. We were in ours, which was next door to CFCF, and word got around. Hey, you heard somebody broke out. I'm like, already they just built the thing. They just like it's supposed to be all this great stuff they have.
Fairly high
Maximum
so-
security, whatever type shit. And here, yeah, it's supposed to be state of the art. And then here, somebody just walks out the front door. What the? So, but so yeah, I ended up coming back to Reading then, and well, while I was down there in Philly, I was in the halfway house and stuff like that. I end up running into Flex Willer again. I was down on Broad Street, and I remember him had this little red car. I don't know if it was a Fiero or some shit like that. He ends up turning the corner, and I seen this little short black guy, and that's the only one thing I remember driving that kind of car because he was a little short black guy driving this little red car, and I just yelled Flex. He hit the brake, stopped this. I didn't know he was living in Philly at the time.
Right.
So me and him linked up. I got him caught up what was going on with me. And then here he was training at Hawkins Gym with guys like O-Dog and them down there. And like Mike Keener was down there. Reckless Youth was down there. Just like a list of guys of who's who was like there from the indie scene trained there at that gym. And I ended up going down there for I wasn't there long, but I was fortunate enough to go down there and meet people, rub some shoulders. I got to meet Trent down there, and John. And then when I came back to Reading, I started going to the shows here, PCW. I ended up meeting like Nick Burke and stuff. So yeah, it was
Love Nick Burke.
yeah. So I was starting to get involved with the Philly crowd of a bunch of guys. So and that was a really blessing getting to know all them, and then becoming a part of their family. Which I wonder how things would have been different if I would have trained in Philly and not over here. So
Right.
I don't know. But yeah, time went on. Throughout the years, like I said, I changed different looks. I jumped from promotion to promotion, which like but at the time I didn't have a car, so I was just getting whatever came, and I was still hanging around with Torres, and he until this day, from what I know, he still don't got a car, and we were just catching rides with whoever we caught rides with to go to shows. So yeah, and then yeah, I was just
At least you made it out there, though. You know.
yeah, we were out to get I'm not gonna say we're getting our names out there. I more or less like uh just like a filling guy here and there because
Right.
I wasn't doing my own thing. It wasn't until I broke away from him is when I start venturing out on my own and start doing my things and getting more bookings and getting noticed and stuff like that. I felt like I felt like I was being held back. Like it was all about him and I play second fiddle,
Yep.
so I'm like, and he don't I guess he didn't like that. He just wants to be the main guy, front and center,
Right.
and
The
that's
guy
it.
on spotlight all the time.
Yeah. So or I probably would have stuck around longer. He probably would want to keep me around if at the time if I had a vehicle to drive him around. So, but that's that's the kind of guy he is. You're mainly around if you have something that he needs.
I'm
Hey,
trying to figure. I'm trying to figure out how in the hell does he have money to run shows when he can't afford to get across town.
Well, what happened was, he paid people off. So that's what it
Oh.
was. But look,
You gotta
I'm
have money to pay people off.
That's one. Like no matter which way you put it, to put it on a show, you have to have dough some way somehow. This man piss poor broke. How?
Look, here we go.
One of the things is from what I got out is that goes takes out a loan, runs the show. If it makes money, he can pay back what he pays back, and then start booking the next show. If not, if the show bombs and he doesn't make any money, then it'll be a while till the next show happens, and so you have to wait till he pays that loan off first before he can, uh, get things going. But
So he's getting himself in debt to try to run a show.
I don't know
Yeah, I
about
was gonna
now.
say, he's basically owing money to owe money.
Well, that was the past. I don't know now. I don't know what he's doing now. As far as I know,
Fam, it has to be the same thing because he's piss poor.
well, as far as I know, that I heard,
Cat.
that he's working at like Amazon, and he has his own ring now and stuff. So, and he has his own promoter's license. So, I don't know what he's doing now besides me catching a glimpse of him walking by. Other than that, I really don't try to focus on anything he does. I don't have him on social media. I have him blocked.
Right.
The only time I ever hear anything currently about him is if somebody screenshots something or shows me themselves, or I just
Right.
hear something. Hey, as soon as someone says, "Hey, your boy," I know exactly who they're talking about because everyone makes a joke about it. Because they always till this day everyone calls him my boy. Hey, your boy. I'm like, dude, no. Yeah.
Yeah, look,
No, he isn't.
Chio gets so mad when you say that.
Yeah.
And here's why. Here's why, though. And I get it. When you get affiliated to someone that has been blackballed, that has been literally, I'll say it. I don't care who hears me. And I know there's people going to tell me I'm wrong for saying what I'm about to say. But this man is so against anybody. He's made homophobe things on the internet to where I shot at him and telling me that, hey, you should come and fight me, to where I worked him in the ring. I didn't work him in the ring, but Mark Mess worked him in the ring and a bunch of other people. And this man almost had a heart attack. Then the one day he decided he wanted me to, shove him in the ring, even though he forgot that I have a beef with him. And I shoved him so hard. And I was a referee at the time, okay? But he is so
Right.
blacklisted that people that work his shows are hard to get booked on other shows unless you're friends with the promoter. Because I'll tell you right now, I won't book anybody that works for this douchebag.
No, I can't. I can't honestly. I can't say that. It's not the people. It's not the talent. It's just that the talent don't know him. When you turn around and look, he's booking new people in the area who nobody knows really. Like people from other areas that are traveling in who don't know the like us or whatever. They only know what he tells them or what they hear about us through him, by him, whatever, you know. So
No,
it's like
I'm talking about the boys that actually do know him and know the story, and they just want to work for someone because they want to get booked instead of having integrity for themselves in this business. They just think of it as a booking. Like I won't work for ACW down in Maryland because fuck James Ellsworth.
yeah. Well, here's my theory on that, Dennis. Though I'm sorry, I might have to disagree a little bit. Though, this is me. I actually encourage the guys to take his bookings. Go get booked. Make sure you. Here's the things, though. I say make sure you get paid, and sell that merch. Get whatever fans that come there. Get new fans to come and see you. Whatever. Hey. If his company does great, fine. Hey, that's great and dandy. But him as a person, I can give two shits about. But as far as the talent being there, getting the fans to come see them, and for them to get paid, get noticed, and get new fans to buy their merch and stuff, I'm all for it. So I tell them, go take the booking, and I tell people, if it comes up, do not let him know that you are friends with me because he might treat you differently then. That's why I say just go in, do your job, get paid, go home, whatever. Other than that, leave me out the conversation like you don't even know me or whatever, and if by chance, and I told a bunch of guys this, I said, hey, if by chance my name comes up and stuff starts being trash talked, agree with him. I tell him that. I said, agree with him. Tell him, yeah, that Chio's a piece of shit. I tell the guys that to do that.
I won't. Sorry.
No. I literally tell him because you know what? Hey,
I can understand that completely. Like you don't want to potentially mess up the money that you're going to be getting.
Look,
yeah.
So here's the thing.
Roll with it that way until you see the pay gate.
And the thing is, and they laugh about it. They're like, really, for real? I'm like, yes. I'm giving you the okay to do it. Like if he knows you know me, I'm like, whatever. You and I know the truth. This and that. Just just make him feel special about himself. Whatever. Just as long as you get paid and you're taken care of, and that's all that matters. Like I said, the fans are there. They're there to see you. They're there to buy the merch. And like I said, hey, if the company makes money that night and the fans come in, hey, that's great. But as far as him goes as a person, which I like I said, somebody already reached out to me and told me, hey, his life's going to shits right now. They already told me at one of the last shows, they're like, the first thing was, hey, your boy. And after that, it was, did you hear? I'm like, no, I didn't hear because I'm not friends with him. And it was nothing but negative shit. And they're like, yo, he makes it sound like he's going to kill himself the way he's talking online. Like, oh, well. I'm like, oh, well, I would have been his friend. I would have been there for him, consoling him. I would have been like, yo, bro, you want to talk this and that? But he lost that a long time ago.
Right.
I at one time I tried to bury the hatchet. He had a show. He was in the hospital. He couldn't be for his show. And I ended up going to it. I ended up going to the hospital. The look on his face was priceless. It was like he did not expect me his show was still going on. The talent was there. Everyone was there. And he did not expect to see me show up at the hospital while his show is going on, this and that. I said, look, hey, look. I explained. I said, look, we're too old for this and that, blah, blah, blah. And, and we tried squashing. I said, look, whatever happens, I don't want to do no business with you. I don't want to do no beef. I'm like, we had great times when we were younger. We laughed, we talked. Me and him pretty much almost had the same mindset when it comes to wrestling, but with him, it's a lot more negativity flows his way, where it's all me, and it's everyone else's fault when something goes bad.
It'll always be someone else's fault when something goes bad.
So
it'll never be
at the age
his.
of 17.
It'll never be his.
all right.
That's a weird individual, let me tell you.
But let's get off that
Yeah.
that downer.
Yeah, that nasty.
That downer.
Any more wrestling related questions for me, gentlemen?
Do you remember?
Well, do you have any? Go ahead, T.
Do you remember the first time you pissed me off at training?
No, I don't. Did I chop you?
It has nothing to do with chop, but it has everything to do with learning a craft that I was hard-headed, and I was like, what the fuck is he doing?
Did I yell at you?
No, you ain't like because when I broke in, my main thing was like these were my guys that I looked up to was Bret Hart, Kurt Angle, Taz.
I look up to them.
But I'm talking about the no nonsense, ha straight wrestle. And then you say cower. I don't know why, why, and then you was mad. You was mad because I didn't want to cower.
I can believe it.
It's working the gimmick, brother.
I remember because we were having a student match and he was like, I'm like, I'm not gonna cower. My whole forte is fucking throwing people around. Why am I gonna cower?
You're asking a big man to cower, bro?
No. I'm short, but I was stocky, and built at the time.
Yeah.
Unlike this sludge that you have in front of you.
At the time, a lot of times when you look and think, depends on who the baby. I'm guessing I was a baby.
No, we was just learning the craft,
okay.
and we was at the school, and you told me to cower. I looked at you like you fucking insane.
Yeah, because there's like sometimes sometimes Dennis like bump and feed whatever. Like okay, guy gets up, arm drag, hip toss, and you're going for a close punch the guy, and the guy cowers out the ring. He bails out the ring, to take a breather.
Yep.
It's because that guy's blown up.
No. What you did was you fucking ran back to the corner on your knees. You waddled back to the corner on your knees and hugged my leg. I'm like, that's what you need to do. I'm like, bro, I am not gonna be on my knees.
Oh, it was one of them. So you didn't explain it to me. Yes, that's like that's a comedy. So that's like if I was the heel. Yes, if I was the heel and whatever's going on, I'm gonna cower. Yeah, I'm gonna cower to my partner in the corner like that. I'm gonna hug him around his waist, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, it's okay, buddy, it's okay."
See, but I wasn't smart enough. I'm like so angry, like my fucking gimmick is to throw people around, and you want me to do what?
He says that to you.
Well, it's the thing. It's the thing when your opponent gets the best of you. That's the thing. It's when your opponent gets the best of you, you end up doing something like that.
Dude, I was so heated that day. I went home like I'm not gonna fucking hug nobody's nuts. I was mad.
Hey, you want to get ahead of the business? You want to get booked, right? You better hug all the nuts you can.
Here I am now, like, dude, I would do that spot over and over and over again. That's the easiest thing to do.
I think
I'd rather do that than take some sick bumps. Let me tell you.
Oh yeah.
You know what? I literally had fun helping train guys at IWA at the Cruel School. We had guys like Leppy was there. He was a little short guy. He wasn't even Irish, but he was playing the role of an Irishman, and we had him doing some high flying stuff. Uh, Debbie, like chopped the shit out of her. She wanted to get trained like the guys.
She's the stiffest person I've been in the ring
If
with.
you remember,
About Debbie Sue?
Psycho Bitch. Yes.
Psycho bitch.
Oh
Yes,
my God, Debbie Sue, fuck that.
Yeah,
No. Nope, I'm
Yeah.
fucking good. She chopped me in a battle royal.
You're
and
welcome.
I thought I shit myself, okay?
You're welcome. I hope train her to chop.
Bro. One of my first matches was with her, right? And the spot call for a suplex. My dumb ass forgot to bite down in time. Now, mind you, this is about maybe I'm a $1.8. Like I'm physically fit, nothing like you see now. I'm physically fit, so I gave her the Iggy on a jump.
Bad
She didn't need that shit. She did not need that shit whatsoever because I went up and I came down nearly on my neck and bit the hell out my tongue and my teeth and cracked the molars. I'm like, what the fuck? Like she threw me, and I gave her everything. I felt so like used.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen,
Now,
she's that one
I gave
woman
her
that-
everything and she needed nothing.
now, you can actually see now where I said about the cowering part now with Debbie. A lot of times
Yeah.
I worked Debbie, and I was the heel. So I literally, even though I got offense on her, I let her beat my ass in front of crowds to
See,
put
but-
her over.
At that time, I didn't know. Before when the whole cowering thing, that was before I stepped into the limelight. So that's why I was like pissed off. Like, dude, you knew I was trying to build, and you telling me, nah, fam, you're gonna grab a leg.
Well,
but
you seen that with
I
you
know
seen
now.
that
I know
with Triple
now.
H too. You seen him do the same. He cowered.
Yeah, but
yeah.
I know now. It's a cross contrast to
If I
what
knew-
it was
Right,
back
right.
then. When training,
I
I
knew
didn't
now
want to
what
be that.
Yeah,
I didn't
whole
wanna be-
situation, like if I knew now what I knew back then, I wouldn't have gotten my ass kicked.
Yeah.
But no, Debbie, one of the stiffest people I've ever been in a ring with, and that's saying a lot because I've been in a ring with some heavy dudes.
And I love Debbie Sue. She's a sweetheart. But never, no. Like, listen, this is when Captain Rick Adams ran a show at the place, and it was my first show for Captain Rick. And he's like, hey, it's going to be you and Miss Dixie versus Captain Rick, a.k.a. me, and Debbie Sue. All right, I'll do an intergender tag team match in the main event of the evening. Hell yeah. Let me just tell you that I didn't have gear yet. Now I have to go find these shorts. He tells me literally the night before that I'm in a match that have gear. So I wore Adidas high tops, right? And I painted them black and red. I had a pair of jeans. I cut them into shorts and painted skulls and the DRs and customized it. Look badass. And I came out with a leather biker jacket that was a skeleton and zipped up for the face. And I painted my face black and red. And I wore a Michael Myers hockey mask, okay? So as I'm getting
That
my
would be
gear,
Jason
I
Voorhees.
got done painting my face, and they're doing the battle royal, and I hear my name announced, and I'm like, whoa, what? And Captain Rick goes, oh yeah, by the way, go get your cherry pop, bitch.
Yeah.
Like, all right, cool.
Oh man!
I'm gonna go screw some people up. Let's do this. Let me tell you, that was not what they had in mind. They had in mind for me to get my ass whooped. Me and some people went chop the chops. Jack Molson chopped me, and I thought I died. Mark Mess chopped me. I thought I died. Debbie Sue chopped me, and I thought I shit myself.
Yeah, I want to apologize to everyone watching. Yeah, I'm looking at my other screen. It's still looking blurry from my end.
Yeah,
On my-
it still is.
on my-
Yeah, it goes in there. It's like
Yeah, I
it's
was
probably
saying,
the internet.
I was saying on my main screen, it's clear as day. It's clear. But on my other one,
Yeah,
it's like it's in and out, like you guys just said. But the audio, I hope the audio's perfect.
No,
though.
audio is fine on
Oh
my
yeah,
end.
the audio is great.
But
Chris.
yeah, like I really enjoyed helping train not just IWA. I went I did a little something at Black Ball. I did some stuff down um with JoJo when he had the ring in his yard at the time. So and like once in a while I step foot in like the dungeon, every once in a while, but no, I haven't done that in a while. And even at Fort Noxious, I stepped in like a couple times, just small little tweaks here and there, whether it's lock up and chain and stuff like that. Nothing major, just little, even about selling, So
Right.
like I really like the training aspect, but I like the old school aspect of it because I'm not gonna go out there and teach these guys these big long high flying whatever spot fists whatever. I'm gonna start from the ground up, and like every little motion is gonna be there's a reason for everything. Just even from the lockup itself, the way you positioning, your footing, the way your heads, depending on your size of you and your opponent, who's bigger, who's taller, who's shorter, whatever, how you should be positioned. Uh, you know, and I really look forward to opening up a school of my own, which we talked about on the show already. I said about
Yeah, I was gonna
opening
say,
up.
so what do
I
you have
I
for the
I I,
future there?
I said about opening up Body Slams Pro Wrestling Training Center, which I already got the okay. I got the okay for it. Like I said, I spoke to Damian Kane. You see the pictures online of me and him together
Yeah.
recently when he was finally back up in PA after 25 years. He gave me his blessings as being like the only student that's still working the business somewhat, that I have full permission to bring back to school, as well as the company he ran, that name of All Star Wrestling Federation, AWF, if I wanted to. So I got to go ahead, and that's all I wanted, because he wasn't up this way for 25 years. He wasn't up here. So I talked to him online, but I want to hear it from him face to face.
Oh, absolutely.
And when I finally got that recognition and give me that okay, now for others, for a certain other person who we talked about earlier, will try to badmouth me and say this and that. Well, fuck you. I got the okay to go ahead. It's mine now, bitch. So, yeah.
There you go.
So if by chance it comes up and running, I have the rights to use that stuff.
Yep.
So that works out for me.
Yeah, dude. If you start taking people to train,
But
let me know.
here's the difference though. What
Look,
I want
may
to do
already
is
turn one and everything
I
just close.
I want it to be a after school thing. I want to help
Yeah.
kids, like kids in high school. There's kids who love wrestling who don't get to share it because their friends might look down on it. There are
Yep.
kids who are doing not just wrestling, even if they're doing other aspects of the wrestling business, as far as there's creative writing. They could be writers for our shows.
Yeah.
There's people,
Right.
videographers
got the-
who can do
Yeah,
video
yeah,
editing,
tech behind it.
photographers, graphic designers, all that stuff that they're learning in school, they can use the wrestling
world of professional
school
wrestling,
as a platform to practice what they're learning in school and take it back to school and use it as part of credit that they can use in school
Oh, yeah.
to their teachers. So, and like I said, and on top of that, they don't have to be just hanging out on the streets or sitting home, hanging online, playing video games. Nothing against video games or nothing like that. But yeah, it'll give them something, and they can be creative too. And who knows? At the same time, they can be the next stars. They can be the next Dylan Frymore, who's working with AEW and DDP Yoga. They could be the next
Right.
Bill Apter, George Napolitano. They could be the next, whatever within the wrestling business that does stuff other than wrestle.
Right.
You know, they could be that person. So that I'm just trying to give back. And like I said, and by chance, if we do get some wrestlers or managers or commentators out of the mix too at the same time, hey, hopefully they grow and they pass it on after they're done to another generation who's looking to learn the craft. Because I don't want it to just die with me. JoJo, she's doing photography. My grandkids, they're taking an interest in learning. So continue my legacy, the Body Slams legacy, this and that. Continue. Happy birthday, Killer Kowalski, too, because it was his birthday, and Killer Kowalski was Damian Kane's trainer. So we have that legacy of Kowalski to Kane to me, and then whoever's underneath me, whoever take whatever knowledge that I have, even if it's just a little bit, even just a little bit. You come from my loin.
Something.
You come from the tree. The tree of Chio you come from. Even though you're IWA, I gave you a little bit, even just a little bit. Coward.
Just that first sentence lost you completely,
you know,
bro.
You know, I want to say yes, but that whole growing shit.
You come from my loins.
No, I don't, son. No.
That really
Dennis
messed you
comes from
up.
my loins.
No,
Deal
but
breaker.
honestly, when somebody asks me who are my trainers in this wonderful world of ours, I always say three names. And them three names.
I'm going to go first. You're going to say rapid fire Maldonado.
Yes.
Number one, right there, because he had a great hand in what he does.
He was my beat me down daddy, and basically just hurt me. Second would be Tommy Golden, because nobody wanted to play with Tommy in the ring except me. And you know that builds character. Like you trying to work or try to get to a plateau where people work like Tommy and people are scared to get in the ring with him. I'm like, bro, you're gonna have a bunch of other people just like this man. Why are you not getting in the ring with him?
And Tommy trained at the Monster Factory.
And like for real, they developed fucking pros
with Larry at the time, though. He was with Larry Sharp at the time, though.
You know, and then Chio,
I'm nobody.
Chio blessed me with insights and mentalities. Sometimes he can go a little bit ape shit on his 80s craze, and I hate it. But he has he has this wealth of knowledge that's you can't buy. You need it. So these are my trainers. This is who I train. Steve Carino, but he only came by like 3 times. But you know, the school was named after him. But beside that, you know, it's these guys. These are the guys that basically gave me life in this business. Because without them, there would be no T Reyes or Tony Rage or whatever the fucking gimmicks they want to give me. But
he's the leader of the old school.
but yeah, these are my 3 trainers, and I thank you for it, Dave.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You know, and I always told you, you know, you're like,
I just don't come from your loins.
Damn it. Damn it.
I can tell you one reason why my love for pro wrestling never really like went too far into the point of wanting to like actually do it. Had one trainer.
Pat.
I think Mikey knows who I'm talking. Yep.
that was like that giveaway as soon as you said Mikey knows. They all know.
First time I ever go to do a sunset flip, I almost break my goddamn neck.
Real quick story.
Don't tuck enough. I don't tuck enough and just.
Real quick story. Brushing up on Tommy. Tommy go to Monster Factory. That man is up and go, up and go, up and go. I'm learning. Now, I'm a rookie. Greenhorn. This is a motherfucking roll up. Straight up roll up. And I got concussed. Because he did it so fast and hard.
Oh,
I whipped my neck back and started seeing little dots. I'm like, what the fuck? It was a roll up. So unless you know the like everybody like, oh, it's a roll up. This is, depending on who the hell you working, professionals know how to do this real quick. Because when I got rolled up, he snapped back up for the next spot in the training. I didn't get up, so I'm like, hi. I'm looking at the stars, and Raph is yelling at me. Like, what's going on? I'm like, I can't get up because I see things.
I'm sorry, guys, I have to interrupt. Third quarter, 28-14 Bucks.
Again, not surprised that the Eagles are getting spanked.
Killing me, bro. Killing me.
That's what I said.
But yeah, I got beat up on a roll up, like concussed on a basic little roll up.
I have 3 fun stories that I could tell really fast.
All right.
First one was the sunset flip story. First one was the sunset flip story during.
That one's done already.
Second one was the first match I actually did with Pat with like his friends and stuff. I was a referee, and I had to do a chair shot spot to the back. When they hit me, the part of the top of it that you rest your back on, where like the curve is, caught me on the back of my arm here, and I had a bruise that covered my entire tricep for a week.
I'm sure your mom wasn't happy.
But I was like, how did that happen? I went, from a folding chair, and she literally stopped the car and goes, "Oh, what?" I'm like, yeah, like that. Me and my buddies did some wrestling stuff. She went, "Oh," and just kept driving. Because I used to always do the stuff in the house with like my brothers and stuff, like on like the couches and whatnot. So like, it wasn't unexpected of me to like go out and do that. The third one, in the middle of a match, we do the oh my goodness, he picked up the big guy and did a sidewalk slam on him spot. I landed too flat and knocked all of the wind out of my body. I'm laying there, and he's like we're like doing the cell, like it's been a long match, so we're worn out. He comes over and he goes, "Dude, are you good?" I go, "Just do a quick pin spot. I need a second." That's the thing. I kick out, I roll over, and I go, "Oh God!" Get right back up. 10 seconds later, finish. Second title in 3 matches. First match for Pats.
Well,
this seems to be a common theme. Pepsi Pat, if I'm sorry, Frankie Frizzo, if you're watching. I know that Dennis has beaten you 2 times already. Chio, have you had the opportunity to beat the snot out of Frankie Frizzo?
Me and T beat his ass in a tag team match.
Bro, I've been retired for like 10+ years, and I found out I haven't won against him. I don't know.
Listen. T's not in the one group, or no? T, are you in the Devro Sports 1 page at all?
Yeah, I don't go because they be yapping a lot, and
all they do is talk about sports. What the hell?
Mr. Frizzo decided he wanted to do a little promo off on me on fantasy football today on Voice, and let me just say that I shot back and beat that bitch's ass in a promo off 5 times.
I'm gonna go back and play this. By the way,
there's dirt behind him. And I said he should dial 811 to dig a hole to find the loss that he's going to get in fantasy football.
It's so good. It was the funniest stuff ever.
All right, gentlemen, we've been on this for an hour and 34 minutes live.
So,
well, do you have any other questions for me by chance?
Personally, I don't. I just want to thank you for all your contributions to everything you've done for me.
I
and
appreciate
for
that.
this business, whether people see it or not. So I want to say thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, and I want to echo the same sentiments as T, man. Aside from that, just what you've brought to this podcast, it was just one of those things that Pat and I were like, yeah, maybe we should do it. We don't know for sure. And then I just one day was like, bro, how many people do you know in this business? And he went, a few. I was like, you mean to tell me that none of them can give you at least maybe 2 hours of their free time to just talk about the thing that they love? Like, I was like, look at me, okay? Like I do. I at the time I was like, I'm doing so much stuff
Well,
during the week. I can
you
throw you
got
an
to
hour.
realize you got to realize when guys like me, Dennis and T are in the business for so long, uh, especially when you're constantly involved in it, like me and Dennis per se, uh, sometimes you get tired of talking about wrestling. Like you get fans or whoever coming up and they want to talk to you. Like, okay, the first couple minutes good, but when they drag it out and they keep, you're like, oh, talk about something else, please.
Right.
Right,
Talk.
like you want to
I'm
take
like,
a, you
I
need
hate
a
reading.
break
I'm like,
from it.
it's like I hate reading. Why don't you talk about a book? Because I hate reading, but still, I don't want to talk about wrestling anymore. But thank you, Austin. I appreciate the kind words. For us not knowing each other long.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Um, I am glad for the last 27 years since I was 18. Uh, Even though I started before that, doing other stuff. But I usually go off from my debut date. So for the last 27 years, whatever little bit that I had the opportunity to contribute to help further other guys' careers in any little bit of way, even as just advice or even help people at their shows, even when I'm not booked or or I go above and beyond, not looking for a handout or not looking for a favor or return, and I just do things just for the hell of it. Uh, and that's and that's the misconception. You know, some people think when I do stuff for companies and stuff like that, I'm looking for something in return. Like it's for me, it's gratitude. I want to see people succeed. I want to see companies thrive. Like for instance, Outbreak. Like I charge all these other companies, um, a certain fee when I do sound. Uh, Fortunately, Outbreaks right here in my backyard. Uh, uh, Jared Strunk. I believed in him. I believed in his product. Even when he was with AXW and they split ways and he decided to open up Outbreak on himself. I I donate my time and with all the work I put in, setting up the staging area if I have to, whatever. I try my best, my damnedest, to help everybody out. Just a couple weeks ago, I helped another company in New Jersey where I was already booked for somewhere else, but I ended up showing up, helping them out by setting up my equipment early at their show, going to the other show, doing that one, leaving that show, coming back to their show when my stuff's already set up. So all I had to do was plug my laptop in and make sure they had the lineup for me. So I try to help everybody out the best that I can, the best of my ability. I'm not really looking, like I said, for a handout, but if it presents itself and I can make an extra buck or something like that, hey, great. It's going to go to gas, tolls, uh, equipment that I upgrade my equipment to make it better, more new
Right.
wires, cables, whether it's programs. Some of the money goes to my daughter for her for for her photography stuff.
Photography work.
Yeah, her equipment, her program she used to help edit. So yeah, I'm not just taking the money and pocketing, and it's like I said, it's going through all that stuff plus for like food for the travel and stuff like that, and
All right.
and you know and one final note, like I said, as is on record already, I want to go and thank again Jeff Ripley and Damian Kane for opening body slams at the time and welcoming me in and training. And I want to thank the guys at the dungeon. Well, it was at the time it was Dio's dungeon. It was Gripply. They opened the doors, even though I was young and I was like the gopher and doing this and that. And, I met Mark Mess and them guys there and Dirty D's there and why. I met a lot of guys along the way. Dave Curley, referee. And it wasn't for those schools I probably uh would be doing something totally different. I probably would not even be in the business. And you know what? I'm gonna hate to say this, but uh like I just I'll just say thank you to Ray Torres only for one thing, and that was for showing me what that there is wrestling school out there and what independence was. Other than that, I would not have known at the time what a wrestling school was or independent. Other than that, you, you know, uh, going forward,
Right.
if he ever says he trained me and stuff, don't take it for a grain of salt. All he did was show me the door, and I did the rest. I kicked the door down, and I did the rest on my own, pretty much, with the help of others. Uh, Guys like Flex Wheeler, guys like Bad Crew. I love being in the ring with them. Dirty D's there and Wise. Even I'm about to go on record, even say Rock and Rebel. Even he helped me out too. Even though the situation is what it is, what went down with him, but he throughout the years stuck his neck out for me, and shows I'm not on, he told promoters to put me on the show, this and that. He always took care of me. So like that's you know, but
Right.
other than that, like I stay humble. I keep to myself really, and I just try to help everyone out. The best that I can. The best that I can. If I can't, if by chance, by some reason, if I can't help you out for whatever reason, I might know someone or know someone who might know someone who can help you out. And I really don't have any much more I can say here, unless you
Gio,
guys have questions. Do you have your pod deck out of cards for questions? No. Any random questions? Any of these guys? Any bullshit questions?
Yeah, I have one. Here's a bullshit question.
Okay, all right.
When was it when your balls dropped in wrestling?
What?
When my balls dropped.
Balls drop in wrestling.
When I got shot on for no reason.
Wait, was that for him or me?
That was for Chio, but I'll take it.
Well, he's saying he got shot on for no reason, so I'm gonna try to go off with something like what he said. I'm gonna say when people try to go into business for themselves on you, and you just brush it off and walk away like nothing, because that's what's one thing. Damien taught me. He said back in the day, guys are gonna try to take advantage of you,
And
beat the piss out of you. Yeah. He said it probably hurt like hell, but at the end of the match, when the guy's trying to see some emotion out of you, hey, how was the match, man? It was great. No, dude, it was great. It was perfect. It was beautiful, man. Yo, dude, you were, and that's what happened to me. Guys try to take advantage of me, and their face just dropped when I'm telling them, dude, man, I'm like, that was so late, man. You could have been a hell lot stiffer than that. I'm like, just pretty much just telling them your shots didn't mean shit to me. So,
right.
Look, I love when guys say, man, I got shot on the ring, but their shots weren't really that shit. They were kind of lame. And the person standing right behind them.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, first off, we all saw that you fucking shot on him first, and that dude literally gave it back.
Yeah.
And you're talking shit, and the dude's right behind you, and you don't know. But the locker room's like, this is gonna be great.
Wait until he turns around.
Hey man, how you doing?
Bro.
I got shot on with elbows, forearms, and I'm trying to sell it completely. I gave the dude a low blow. He kept on hitting me. I'm like, what the fuck? So I was like, whatever. I'm gonna eat this shit up. I drug him to the corner. Literally drug him to the corner. Tug out. Went to Rebel, like, what the fuck? Rebel's like, good shit. I'm like, what the fuck? How was that good shit? Like, what the fuck did I do? And I'm like, all right, whatever. He got to the back. I grabbed and hugged him tight, really tight, really, really tight. He said, good shit. Good shit. Shit hit me harder. This shit. And he said, his word, he was like this. Like, he didn't know what to say. He didn't know what to say. Like, dead ass.
That's because they think they got the best of you, and they didn't.
No.
Right.
As for the females, we no sold that shit.
Yeah, just one final note. I just want to say thank you to all the companies that after I stopped wrestling that still took an interest in me, who still provide, even though, like I said, even though I do have services, but still giving me the opportunity to continue to be a part of the business even when I'm not in ring working. I mentioned recently online that that I am tempted to return to managing, maybe after 2022, maybe 2023. I don't know. Maybe just don't take any more bookings and just finish up the ones I got and then start managing again. So I probably wouldn't be doing sound, but like I said, all the dates that I currently have, I'm gonna definitely keep. I'm gonna honor them. So I'm debating.
Right.
I tried to see what companies who would accept me to come work with them.
If
There
they
was
don't, we fighting.
there was some that didn't even respond, which I'm not surprised to. You know, of who I work with currently. So I'm not sweating it. So if it happens where I do return and they don't want to use me, then I knew I guess I knew I really didn't mean shit to them. So, but yeah, like but my main shout out goes back to GSW. After I was done, they could have put me out the pastures. They kept using me for the next couple years, and we did some good ass business. And
That's great.
I believe you can find a lot of their stuff on IWTV as well as me managing, which I have a flash drive right now that I've been recording a whole bunch of my managerial stuff, which I plan on posting. So I think Austin had a blackout.
Nah.
Nope. All right.
There it is.
But yeah, we're it's 1 hour and 48 minutes, and we didn't talk about any other wrestling out there besides what we're bullshitting here. So
That's fine.
that you know what, I had a good time.
That
though,
is
but
part
it's
of the
just-
crazy world of wrestling, as you would say, Chio.
maybe next time we'll get a chance to ask Mikey about his days of wrestling.
That's going to be a short segment.
Okay, so then we can cram Mikey, Austin, and T all in one show.
Really? Wow.
Look, you gave that. It's like,
I
huh?
don't even get a show. I get a part of a segment. The life and times of Tony Reyes.
The rise and fall. Wait, the rise and fall of Austin the referee with a chair
It's
shot.
like a VH1 Hollywood story, but just clips.
All right,
Chio,
gentlemen.
it has been great getting to know more of you. It really has.
Trust me, there is definitely a lot more we did not cover. We were just picking and choosing whatever. This here pretty much was a last minute on the fly thing today, because like I said, we have to reschedule Brittany for another date since she couldn't make it tonight. So yeah, just like I said, there's a lot more to my story that people don't know.
Right.
And
Going clubbing with T Reyes and Tommy Golden.
Yes. Oh my God. Clubbing with
I don't
T
need to
Ray.
know. No. That needs to stay
T
locked
Reyes
away
and-
with the key.
You know what? For us to get into that story, we have to get Tommy Golden on the show.
Oh
Yes.
dear God.
and a drunk T Reyes at a Center City bar in Philadelphia just wants to punch somebody in the mouth because he don't like their smile.
Oh, jeez, T.
So, but that's a story for another
He was
time.
looking at me really hard, like I wasn't about that life. And I'm like, just because I'm happy.
Sounds like an old Dave Schultz kind of thing. You know?
Oh no! That
Breathe
night,
funny.
that night I was ready to fucking brawl, especially when I couldn't find my other brother who went missing. Didn't know he was on the pussy escapade.
But yeah, that's a story for another time. We definitely have to try to get a hold of Tommy Golden and get his ass on here because he has a nice story to tell, I believe. But guys,
You guys know a lot of people, that's for sure.
we try not to, but they just keep coming out the woodwork.
Or they say you owe us money for a booking.
Yeah. Anybody cheap plugs or anything like that? Wait, we're gonna get Austin to do the show plugs.
Yeah, since we read all the first things.
Since we did it at the top of the hour, Austin can.
You close it and you do the Spanish thing too.
Wait, no. Mikey gets to do the affiliates if he knows how to.
The podcast affiliates.
All right, well, look. While he does that, I'm gonna hop off because I gotta get up at 4:30 in the morning. So,
Thank you,
gentlemen,
Dennis.
have a good night.
Thank
I'm
you,
outta here.
Dennis.
Peace. T. Punch him
Peace.
in the face. That'd be great. Just saying.
No. This is the moneymaker.
I don't know about that one.
$20 or $20.
That's almost like when Pat said he was busy at work standing around. But hey, just saying.
I do the same thing. I'm busy at work staring around.
No,
Until
you're
people
busy
come in.
sitting down.
All right, Dennis.
But I'm
Thank
out.
you.
Later.
Peace out, brother.
All right, Austin. Let's give a shout out to our Devereaux sports teams and go.
Yeah, so just follow all the guys on social media, Facebook, Twitter, all the shows, YouTube's. We got this one has the microphone in it, doesn't it? Okay, so Gobbler Inc., Sullivan Squad, Scrapple Boys, the Old School Show, the Combat Misfits, and I think that's everyone.
All right, let me break it down to you. Devereaux Sports. Monday,
he
Sullivan
forgot.
Squad.
Hold up, let me stop him. You forgot about the wrestling shows. Thursday Night Slam, Ferguson Fight Slam,
They're watching us right now.
But you still got to put it out there, though.
You're right.
But
You're
it's
right.
it's all good though. See, but I got the days and times that everyone is.
So
It's
it's
on.
Monday, the Sullivan Squad at 6 p.m. Tuesdays, the Old School Show at 6:30 p.m. Wednesdays, Combat Misfits at 6 p.m. Thursdays, Thursday Night Slam, 9:05 Eastern Time. Saturdays, Scrapple Boys, 9 a.m. Who's awake to see that shit? Sundays, Gobbler Inc., 9 a.m. Same thing. Who gets up on the weekend? 9 a.m., man. Goblin Inc. Combat Misfits, 10 a.m. Lord. Breakfast and by the time they're going to wake me up. Oh, my God.
We're gonna wake his ass.
Impromptu shows is pop-up pipe bombs. We could pop up anywhere at your local grocery market, your mama's house. We don't know, but we're going to pop up somewhere. Affiliates. Affy people of the Affies of the podcast. Tornado Podcast with Anthony Blackwell and Andy Header. 2200 Wrestling Podcast. 2322. I'm sorry, I'm dyslexic. With Dave Header and
Dave King here and DB
DB Richards, right?
Dyslexic, I told you.
Nice.
Conversación. Wait, no, Mikey.
Our Spanish
Conversation de Luberito. I know I was gonna. I knew I was.
How the hell?
I know no way curse, but I knew I was gonna fuck that up.
If you love wrestling, it's lucha libre.
Lucha Libre. I'm sorry.
There we go. There we go.
I'm dyslexic
Can
too.
you pronounce their names? What, Daniel Mercado and Emmanuel Berrios?
That's going to take some practice.
And we got our newest Backstabbers
The
Wrestling
Backstabbers Wrestling
Podcast.
It's
Podcast.
just a wild
So,
time.
And no, that doesn't mean they're all heels.
I definitely want to apologize to our viewers out there for the cluster, the manhandling of tonight's show. Like I said, it was pretty much impromptu. Well, not impromptu. We were scheduled to be on. It was just it was a last minute change up in who's going to be interviewed, and unfortunately, it was
We
me.
have fun.
It was me, but we had fun. We
Yeah, it was
conversated.
a great show.
I got to talk. I got to talk trash where I didn't want to talk trash. So, but there's always a difference between talking trash on a person and talking shit on a person and talking about a person who's shitty. So, with that being said, this is the Body Slams podcast, and this is Thursday Night Slams.
Thank you for
I'm-
Dave's 100th birthday in this wrestling community. I just want to put that out
I appreciate everybody out there who stuck with us, who's watching, who's still sticking with me through these years of wrestling that I contributed, and I want to thank these gentlemen.
Michelle from Ohio, he will receive $100 worth of back checks from child support when Dave was working under Kid Extreme.
I never worked with Michelle. What? Who? What?
She knows.
She
No
knows.
more show. Mary Babette says no more show. What?
What?
I'm not sure. You're gonna have to find out when you get
Yeah, we'll
off.
find that out.
When you get off, and she's gonna smack the hell out of you. because that's all you. That's all you, bro. That's all you. Austin, thank you again for tuning in. We're actually looking to put together a nice team between the three of yous and maybe a fourth person. I don't know, for Breakfast and Body Slams on the Sundays, but we're gonna see how these Sundays go for the next 2 months. Then once we start it, but
Right.
me and Dennis really want to put a team together. That way we can branch off, and they don't have to see me and Dennis all the time. So that way me and Dennis can focus on the pop-up ones as well as the Thursday night interviews, where then the rest of you can just talk straight wrestling for the week, whatever comes up. So that like I said, I had one person in mind, but Sundays ain't good for him. So we gotta. I like to find someone who's just as young as Austin there, because he's pretty young. You know, who has his ear to the ground and what's going on in the world of wrestling. I'm giving you a compliment. Shut the hell up and take it. Okay, old ass Austin.
All right, listen. This show should not close off with you closing off. We already ended up with the plugs. The plugs, as I say it.
Okay, so whoever wants to close the show off between you.
I'm gonna do this dumb shit. You know why? Because we love you, Pat, and we understand that cursing is a part of this. Anywho, thank you for everybody here in the Thursday Night Slam cast. Dennis is already gone, so he can't bitch about anything. Mikey, you have anything left to say?
We got that air. No, no, it was great doing the show. Chio, thank you for letting me do the interview, and people actually get to hear, me ask questions. It put me to the test. I hope that I stood up to the plate for you.
Austin, anything?
Aside from just the usual stuff that I always say, the standard, follow everybody on Devereaux Sports and stuff. If you're able, adopt an animal. My dog's a rescue. She's amazing. She's been it's been the great 2 years of my life having this little dog. You guys saw her earlier during the interview. If you can
Adopt, don't
donate,
shop.
if you can donate to the American Cancer Research Society. I found out recently that my father was diagnosed not too long ago with esophageal cancer, and he's begun his treatments for that and everything. So he's very close. I have a very close relationship with my father, and it's definitely it's been a hard thing for me to process. I can only imagine what it's doing for him. But yeah, tons of people lose so many people they have close relationships with to all types of cancer, and just help trying to find some sort of a cure to try and not have to deal with that kind of a heartbreak is paramount. And then aside from that, just be awesome to each other. Like life is short. Life is too short to consistently hold grudges. You just gotta sometimes you just gotta learn to let go, move on, forget, and if you can do that, things get so much easier.
All right. And finally, the man of the hour, the man with the power, the man with the executive suite to the White Tower, Dave, Chio, Kid Extreme, and that Arabian gimmick
Kalim Rizali.
I don't want to remember ever. Do you have any words before I wrap it up?
Nah, just everyone just get vax, mask up, vax up, be safe, stay humble, pay it forward. Because you never know. It could come back right to you in the end, in the long run. You do good for people out there, it's gonna show, and hopefully you get blessed in return tenfold. And that's it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. This week's episode of Body Slams Podcast, Thursday Night Slam. It is I,
The Prime Show.
T. Reyes, with my co-host, Chio, 24/7 Frost, Mikey, the Saint Bernard,
Also known as
Austin.
the
I'm
Ink
not
Artist
sure what your
45.
gimmick is.
Some dude.
Thank you. Thank you for listening, and take care of each other's. Adopt, don't shop. I love you guys. Call somebody if they need help. Peace.
Wow. Peace.
Peace.
Let's see how fast this broadcast can end. That's a wrap. Why it's still ending? Yeah, we're pretty much
Still
done
ending.
here.
I'm holding it like a freeze frame in a sitcom.
No,
Come
it's all
on,
right.
Clark, hurry the F up. Hey.